Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that I finally saw Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And it was freaking hilarious. I came out of there just so excited that I ordered these. I ordered my Starfire and my Raven that I've been meaning to get for quite a while. I collect rock candy figures. I have a bunch on my desk right now behind me because I haven't had a chance to find anywhere to put them. But yeah, I've got a big mess in here. But anyway, yeah, I went to see Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and you know, I know it's been out for it's been like at least a week and a half now. And the thing is, I tried to go on opening weekend with MoviePass. So if you haven't been keeping up, MoviePass, which was this awesome service where you paid like $9.99 a month and you could go see like a movie every day, and for some reason they would pay for it. Well, I tried that and it was great for a while, and now they don't have any more money because it obviously doesn't make sense that they would, you know, pay for all your movies and you pay them for one movie. So it was a weird thing, but it was cool for a while. And so I canceled my MoviePass account because I had driven all the way to the movie theater, couldn't get in to Teen Titans Go to the movies, and I was disappointed. So, but anyway, so it took me like a week, you know, to get the money to go see a movie. Because I've got a lot of things going on right now. The next trip we're going on, my sister's birthday is coming up, and we make big deals out of that. Working on my Halloween costume, which is a pricey one. So, yeah, it took me a while to have the spare cash to go to a movie. So, I finally went, and let me say that I did like the old Teen Titans show. And I think the reason most people don't like Teen Titans Go, the new show, well, it's not new anymore, but you know, the current show, is that it's a kids comedy show. And I don't like to call anything for kids, you know. There's a lot of, this movie especially, a lot of adult humor. I mean, I almost feel like this movie was aimed at adults, not kids. But, you know, of course there are a lot of like poop and fart jokes in it, and they're actually, some of them are really funny. But for the most part, this movie was hilarious. It was so funny. There's so much adult stuff, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's some funny stuff. I kind of feel like the TV show Teen Titans Go, and I enjoy that show. I like that show, and I liked the old show. It's just a different kind of show. I mean, I love 60s campy Batman, and I love, you know, all the dark Batman stuff. I mean, you know, the recent cinematic universe maybe goes a little too far. I mean, there's always things to pick on. I mean, the Nolan-verse I loved, but it was a little too realistic to be Batman, because that's not Batman's world. Batman's world isn't 100% realism. I mean, he's got villains like Clayface and stuff, you know? You got characters like Zatanna, who I love. So, you know, there's always something to pick on. But anyway, and this movie, well, the show, Teen Titans Go, like I said, it's a really funny show. This movie was more adult than the show. But that show is still entertaining to me as an adult. And I mean, I liked the other show, but I like this show too. Why not have two kinds? I think people just wanted them to bring back, you know, that other show, which is funny because, spoiler alert, we're going to the spoiler alert zone, but there was a part at the end credits where they sort of like teased, like, I didn't really get what they were trying to say. Like maybe that they are gonna bring back the old school Teen Titans, but I don't think so. I don't know if I feel like that was just a joke, but it was pretty funny. But anyway, this movie, if you don't know the plot, the Teen Titans, ever since they started with Go, they're superheroes, but on the show Teen Titans Go, they don't do a lot of superheroing. It's just a lot of like teens without parental figures just having antics and being friends and just making jokes and wackiness. And it's fun. It's a fun show. And the movie, the cool thing is it has all the major DC superheroes in it. And basically, Robin wants to have his own movie because all the superheroes are getting their own movies, and it's getting so ridiculous that like the Batmobile is getting its own movie. And Robin's here watching this, and he's like, you know, why is the Batmobile getting a movie before me, you know? And then the the utility belt, Batman's utility belt, is getting its own movie. You know, it's a joke, but anyway, it's getting absurd, right? And so Robin becomes obsessed that he wants his own movie because people don't take the Teen Titans seriously. The regular people don't, the superheroes don't, the villains don't. So that's what it's about. It's about Robin getting the studio to make a movie about him. And so he has a few different ideas. First, he's like, oh, we have to be like real superheroes. We have to get an arch nemesis. And so they start working on that. But then they're like, oh, you know what? They're not going to see us as real superheroes unless we're the only superheroes. So they like go out on a mission to travel back in time and stop all the other superheroes from being made, like saving Batman's parents before they got murdered and saving Krypton and all that stuff. And there's some hilarious stuff that happens. But characters die. This isn't for like, little tiny kids or anything. Something I was going to say earlier is like, I don't like when people refer to movies and cartoons or anything as like kids, like made for kids. And I don't like when they clearly are made for kids, because I remember a time when, and even now, and this is a good example, I mean, you can make stuff that is entertaining to kids and entertaining as adults. And really, it doesn't have to be where the adult jokes are little secret things, like a side thing, like just an extra thing. I mean, you can make movies that are legitimately entertaining for adults and kids. I think this does a good job, and I don't mean this is the only way to do it, but I mean, this is a comedy, and it's just funny, and it's silly, and it's funny to kids, and it's funny to adults, so I don't know why anyone would just have to call it a kids movie, because the adult jokes, I mean, most of them are not just like, this is a secret little adult joke. No, I mean, it's just in general, like, pretty much all the stuff was funny. When they go back in time, they do, like, a lot of Back to the Future references and stuff. But then they just do hilarious stuff. I mean, their time machine vehicles are big wheels. Big wheels from like the 80s where you're like sitting down, like, I don't know when they originated, but I used to have an Incredible Hulk one. And like you're practically sitting on the ground, you got these little tiny wheels, but in front of you is this one big wheel. And so you're like this. The kid in The Shining was riding one all over the hotel, and that's why The Shining is so nostalgic for me. But yeah, they use big wheels to go back in time. And it's hilarious. I mean, so much funny stuff in this, and it was cool seeing all the other superheroes interacting with Teen Titans. Superman is played by Nick Cage in this. And most of you all know all this. I mean, I'm doing this review kind of late, obviously, but I had such a great time. I went to see this in the evening at the Alamo Drafthouse, and there were like 7 other people there, and I mean, it was like a 9:30 showing, and all adults, just people who liked comic books and superhero movies and stuff. And we just had a great time, man, just laughing at this movie. No kids around. It was so good. It was so fun, and I highly recommend seeing this. There was a short cartoon before the film, and the short cartoon was about Batgirl, and it was cute. Batgirl is my favorite DC character. I have like a huge crush on Batgirl ever since Yvonne Craig and any Batgirl. But Yvonne Craig was a big crush for me when I was a kid. They'd show those reruns in the afternoons of the old 60s show. So yeah, that was one of my first crushes, and totally in love with the Bruce Timm version. And I love Bab Starr's version. I've got a statue of Bab Starr's version. I need to get a statue of the Bruce Timm one. And I've got a autographed Bab Starr poster of Batgirl, and a mini poster, an art print, and an autographed Bab Starr comic book of Batgirl. And I'd have the Bruce Timm stuff too if I could get any. But yeah, she was at a local convention, and I went over there, so I didn't know who was even going to be there, and I was like, oh, Bab Starr. So I got some cool Batgirl stuff. But I love Batgirl. Yeah, so it was cute that they had this little Batgirl cartoon, but it wasn't like the greatest cartoon. It was just her trying to beat, not beat the other superheroes to a fight, but to get there before it was over. And she ended up, spoiler alert, she ended up beating them all there. But I think this was from, I think there was a series of this. It was Batgirl. It's like Batgirl, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman were like the main characters of this series. I don't know if it was a web series. I don't know if it was just a short interstitial type thing, like in between shows on Cartoon Network or something. But it looked familiar to me, but I never got to see that show at the time. So it might, I think it's something new. I don't think they would put some old cartoon, but maybe they did. But it was cute. When it ended, I was kind of like, oh, that's it. But I just because it didn't seem like much of a story, but it was cute. So there was that, and that reminded me that I forgot to mention the short cartoon before Incredibles 2 when I reviewed that movie. But yeah, a lot of people were weirded out by that cartoon. I actually thought it was fine. I mean, it made sense to me. Confused a lot of people. I just thought it was a cute and touching and weird little cartoon. But yeah, so you get a cartoon before this one, and then you get the movie, and it is a great movie, and I highly recommend it. There's some very funny musical moments in this movie. Teen Titans have their own little song. They sing it in the beginning. They sing it again in the end, and it is hilarious. This is just a great comedy. Highly recommend it. Go check it out, guys. It's still out. And I'll talk to you later.